questionables, Trey, Bryce, and Sebastian. Do you have any more insight on their availability?
Yeah, just they were all in practice this week, so we got to see them out there. So physically, they were good enough to practice, and we'll see for game time. But they were all in practice this week.
Going to be like game time decisions with those guys, work out before the game.
Yeah,
Decide.
definitely.
And just how is Derwin progressing with the quad injury?
Progressing. Has been doing workouts and stuff like that. I know he's feeling better, and we'll just see about this game. But definitely improving.
When we were talking about the red zone offense, both with you and Joe, you guys had mentioned rushing, running the ball better in that area of the field. The efficiency numbers aren't bad for you guys, like in the red zone rushing wise. I don't know if that's skewed by like the touchdowns you scored or whatever, but like what am I sort of missing there? You guys obviously want to run the ball better, but efficiency wise, you guys haven't been like top 10 in the league.
Yeah, I think we've had some penalties that have affected our ability to run the ball where we get put behind and then you got to throw it like, hey, there's a second down penalty. What we want to be able to do is, on first and second down, be able to run the football to get closer to the end zone and put more pressure on the defense where they're not playing pass for 2 downs. I think far too often down there this season we've been put in passing situations early, in the downs on second down, and it's just the space is tighter down there, and so I just think we definitely need to stay away from penalties. That's been I think a theme for me when I look at the 13 games we've played or whatever. I think that we've had far too many penalties down there, and then you got to stay away from negative plays, whether it's sacks or negative run plays. So I think running the football allows you to do that, and I think that we just want to be more consistent in doing that, and create that mindset of them having to defend all 11, and really allowing our O-line to come off the football and dictate the pace of the game. So again, it's a work in progress, but we're definitely committed to making it better.
What kind of influence has Khalil Mack had on this organization, this locker room?
I think it's immeasurable, Lindsay. The example that he sets on a day-to-day basis, I think, it's hard to measure. But I just think if you asked, if you interview all the players, I think they can probably give you a little bit different perspective, a different story of how he's affected them. But it's the consistency of how competitive he is. I think he has the highest standard of performance that you could have for a special player. The first game was a good example. He has a 3-sack game. It's one of the great performances that you're going to have, especially in a game like that against his former team. And I didn't play well enough. I left more plays out there. He doesn't accept that type of praise because he knows there's another level that he can always get to. And I think that that's something that he's really done for us. And I think the consistency in how he practices. He's 31 years old. Okay, he's not a young man anymore in football, but the way that he practices all the time and the way he prepares all the time, they see him doing all the hard stuff that football's about, and then just fitting in with the team. When you go to a new team, you have to meet all these new people, and he's the one organizing the team dinners. He's the one, bringing us together, and I think bringing out the best in everybody. And you guys saw what he's done for Joey, and when we get Joey back, there's very few people that can impact players like Joey Bosa the way Khalil has, and so just know that we're thankful that we have him, and as he'll tell you, we're going to need him to play his best on the stretch to get to where we want to go, and that's something that you can always count on with Khalil, is that in the big games he's going to show up and play really well.
Are coaches getting the invites to the dinners yet, or are you guys still on the outside looking in?
Outside looking in is the way it should be.
On Monday, you talked about one of the important things now is keeping the team together, bringing the team together as much as possible. What does that look like, or how, as a coaching staff, how do you try to do that?
I just think in the transparency of the game planning process, transparency of how you're doing things from a week-to-week basis, making sure that everybody sees the value in everyone's work. We try to show as much of the post-practice stuff where you see Easton Stick have 62 throws after practice and all the people that are involved in making that happen. And you just know that everyone has an important role. Joe Reed last week playing Tyreek Hill during the week, showing them how that impacted our performance on defense and that everybody has a role in that. That's how you bring people together, so that everyone knows that they have an important piece in becoming the team that you're capable of being, and just showing as many examples as possible. And we try to do that, and then just the way we meet and the way that we practice, that's how we believe in doing it. So that's got to continue down the stretch, and then hopefully these guys take over the team and it becomes their team, and then they take us to where we want to go.
How much? I think you talked about this a little bit on Monday, but how much does that, I don't know, uplift the team or whatever to see Justin pop up and give the first down signal and then come in the locker room after and spike the football in triumph?
I think that you can, I'm not going to try and interpret our players' feelings. I think you can ask them individually. I know, speaking for myself, there's a big impact. When your best player is having fun out there. You want your players to have fun playing the game, and there's so much at stake each and every game. Especially when you go play a primetime game when the whole world's watching. When you go play like that, you should be able to celebrate it. Because you've worked so hard to earn it. You've earned it, and so I want all of our players to be able to play like that, to compete like that, and for him to do that, I think it makes makes myself, speaking for myself, it makes you that much more confident.
Is it good for you to see him celebrate? Because he is, you watch him and he's very even-keeled.
Yeah, I trust how Justin's feeling. If that's part of how he's feeling, then I want him to be able to feel that on the field. And he's a competitor, and you can only, he's cool 99.9% of the time. So that 0.1% where, that war daddy comes out, like that's special. That's competition. Everybody has that, you included. And so it's good. It's good for everybody to get that out every now and then.
Kind of a maturation and comfort process with him too, just being in his third year, that he's kind of more comfortable letting that 0.1 show and that being a team leader maybe compared to being a rookie.
Yeah, I just think he's got more ownership in everything that involves being quarterback, not just my plays and stuff like that, but just how I am around the building and my rhythm and routine and familiar faces around the building. I kind of know everybody, and I've established relationships with so many people, and so that allows me to be more of myself. So he's getting, again, this is just his third year in the NFL. I think, what is he, 25 years old? He's just at the beginning, and he's every single day he plays pro quarterback, he's getting better at all the things that make up a pro quarterback, and I think that's a big component in it.
You mentioned in your post-game speech, he surpassed Andrew Luck for most yards in his first 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you see these different milestones he's surpassing, just what's it like for you as a coach, just seeing some of the names he's eclipsing?
Well, as someone who appreciates the game so much and respects the people that he's passed, when you talk about Andrew Luck or Dan Marino, I saw Dan Marino before the game. I didn't get a chance to say hi, but Dan Marino's on their sideline. You know how special the players that he's passing. So people that have shaped the game. So that's what he's doing, is he's shaping the NFL, and not surprised one bit, because I know how special he is, and I know that he's going to keep going. This is just the beginning, but I know how special of a competitor he is, and I'm out here every day with him. So when he goes out there and performs, we're probably going to be the least surprised people out there. But he's still got to improve. The big thing with Justin is, for you guys, it's passing milestones, and he's doing that, and it's incredible, but there's still so much in his game that he needs to improve, and I think that's what he's so committed to, is improving his game, and, we're going to need him to play his best on the stretch for us.
Justin, I know last week I asked about Josh and DeAndre, but going forward with just DeAndre for a minute, what has he meant to this team and everything he's been able to do this season, just DeAndre specifically?
Yeah, no, he's been awesome. As soon as he stepped on foot here, we knew that we had a special guy, and I'm not sure how much he was used at his prior place, but he came here and he's got such a good feel for just sitting down in coverage and beating man coverage, and we knew that he was going to be a special player. And when Keenan went down, he stepped up big time. So to have a guy like that who's been around, who's seen a lot and knows a lot of football, it's been really good to have him.
And what about just as a returner? Because obviously what he does there really impacts where you get the ball on offense.
Oh, it's been huge, especially that pass game. Getting the ball on the 50-yard line makes a huge difference, and for him to be able to make plays and make guys miss all year long, and to have a guy like that returning punts, not only on the offensive side of things, he's meant a lot to us.
Justin, when we talk about dealing with blitzes, we obviously talk a lot about pass protection, running backs protecting, and all that kind of stuff. But when you're trying to deal with the blitz, how much does having Mike and Keenan both back help you in that situation? Like there was that third down throw where Mike made that ridiculous catch on the sideline where you
Yeah, Mike and Keenan are both incredible athletes, and I think Mike is one of those guys that has done such a great job in those 50-50 balls and just beating man coverage. And Keenan the same way is he's able to just separate and cause that separation. And so when you have guys like that on the outside, you're able to kind of get away with more. And you've got two really talented special receivers that know the game, know exactly, hey, the ball's going to come out early. They're bringing extra pressure, so they've got a really good feel for it. And when you get all that combined, third down comes around, they're going to be the guys that you go to, and they're going to be able to convert. And that's really part of the offense that we miss.
Justin, can you break down your spike of the Sunday night football game?
It was just a lot of excitement in the locker room. Came in there and everyone was kind of looking at me to do something, so I felt like that was the right move. In hindsight, probably wouldn't have spiked it, but it was a good move. It was a lot of fun, so I think the guys enjoyed it.
Why in hindsight would you not do it?
I didn't want to disrespect the football or the Sunday night football. It had the logo on there, so I meant no disrespect to the Sunday night team.
Isn't that supposed to go in your trophy case or something?
Yeah, hopefully there's not too many markings on it, so I haven't seen it yet.
Maybe fun marks.
Yeah, it'll be a good memory.
When you break records, like you've now got most passing yards in 3 years, surpassed Andrew Luck. Just when you look at all these records you're setting in your first 3 seasons, how much does it mean, or just looking at the people who you've passed?
I think it means a bunch to our team, because to have guys like Keenan and Mike, and all the receivers that we've had over the years, Hunter Henry and T. Billy and JG and the guys that you've had for those 3 years, you don't get it done without those guys. And you remember all the good times you had with them, and especially the offensive line, who have don't get nearly enough credit. I think it's a testament to Joe Lombardi and Shane Steichen, the guys that kind of put all that together. And so to have a team like that and be able to accomplish those things, I think it means a bunch for our team.
Did you follow Andrew Luck when you were growing up?
Yeah, so being an Oregon fan, I watched many battles between Oregon and Stanford. He played a bunch at Autzen, so I was able to watch him in person quite a bit.
Justin, you were on the receiving end of a roughing the passer penalty that most people acknowledge probably shouldn't have been a penalty. I'm just curious your take on that play, and were you surprised when they threw the flag?
I actually haven't seen it, so I don't think I'd be able to comment on it right now. That's one of those things that we kind of skipped over in meetings. Got the ball up there, so I'd have to look at it again.
Justin, when we talked to Brandon earlier this week, he mentioned just you playing with a lot of energy. Whether that's like celebrating after your scramble or even like in the locker room after.
Mm-hmm.
When he's like relayed that message to you, how have you sort of taken that? Because obviously, just who you are as a person might run counter to like a lot of celebrating or like beating yourself in the chest or any of that kind of stuff, the rah-rah stuff. But like, how do you find a way to play with that type of energy but still like remain yourself?
Yeah, I think one of the main focuses that I've had is just to have fun and to realize that on the third down conversion that you're talking about is that's a big moment for us, and to be able to celebrate and go back and with the teammates, that's what I should have done. But those are big moments, and you have to take advantage of those. And football, it's a long season, and for us to be able to stay with it and stay focused and dialed in, it takes a lot of effort. And so for us to be able to play together and play motivated, and you have to have fun. And so I think that part of it is huge, and having the guys celebrate and celebrate each other, especially the offense and the defense. When the defense makes a big play, get the offense out there celebrating them, and I think we're at our best when we're able to do that.
Maybe this isn't the right word, but is it like hard for you to do that, just the way you are, like to really let yourself like have fun and celebrate in those moments at all?
Not so much during football. I think whenever we're playing, it's a different energy. You just go out there and you have fun, and you don't really worry about anything else, and that stuff kind of comes naturally. And when you're not worrying about things and things like that. So Coach Staley and I, we've talked a bunch about that, of just going out there and playing relaxed, playing free, and having fun.
Is it more natural to let go now in your third year, maybe compared to when you were a rookie, just coming into the league now that you're more of a veteran and a team leader?
Yeah, I think one of those things when you come into the league is you just want to earn everyone's respect. You want to earn their trust, and you want to be yourself, and you want to be genuine. And I feel like we've grown really close together as a team the past couple of years, and I know that I've got everyone's back as well as they've got mine. And as long as we're playing together and we're playing fast, you're able to kind of relax and just cut loose and be yourself around these guys.
Feels like a little bit of inception, but can you feel your teammates celebrating that you're celebrating?
Yeah, so actually Corey kind of laughed after I gave the first down point, and I went back to him on the sideline and said, what was so funny? And he was excited for that moment, and that's not something I generally do. But to see that from him, I think they got a kick out of it.
Is that like a learning lesson for you? Just being like, hey, like this Corey's been in the league forever. He's been an All-Pro. He's won a lot of games, but for him to still react that way to like a quarterback celebrating, maybe a lesson that like, hey, I can't really influence everybody on this team.
Yeah, I mean, you put it a really good way right there. I think the quarterback is a huge influence on the team, and I'd like to think that I'm able to do that for these guys. And I think that was a moment that there was a lot of emotion behind it. That's a big game for us, and hopefully the guys got a kick out of it.
Khalil Mack, what kind of I know he's opposite side of the ball, but just general leadership. What has he brought to this team?
He's an incredible teammate. He's one of the best that I've ever been around, and I was such a big fan of him before he got here, and even bigger now. And the way he's leading that defense, talking to everyone, he's never down. And when you got a guy like that, you believe in him every single down, and something good will happen when he's out on the field.
And what about just how off the field he kind of has helped orchestrate these dinners that were defense, and now even the offense is popping by?
Yeah, he's done a great job of getting everyone involved. Trying to get everyone out there and just being a team, and I think that's huge for us. And he's done such a great job all year long of being there and being supportive and getting those things set up. So that's what a veteran does, and he's one of the best.
Justin, with all the things that have happened this year, can you point to one or two things that has been able, you and your teammates have been able to keep your head up? Because you can still be you're right in the middle of the thing right now.
Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned, we've gone through a lot of adversity, and we've been able to answer it and handle it. And we've never gotten too low, and we've never gotten too high. And I think the important thing for us is just to stay steady and attack each week at a time. We've lost some close ones, we've won some close ones, but it's always about the next one.
If you want to see more content like this, check out the link right here.